Okay, so we're going to be talking about Ethan Lemming and the situation that has transpired. Okay, uh, let's get into it. Hard Talk Radio.
Three suspects accused of beating Akron teenager Ethan Liming to death more than 2 months ago had their bonds drastically reduced today. Neil Fisher describes how this happened and what's next.
More than 2 months after Ethan Liming was killed outside of the I Promise school in Akron, attorney John Sin, who represents Deshaun Stafford Jr., asked for a fair bond after charges were reduced.
So what we're asking for you to do today is to not set a bond based on the whole murder charges, but set a bond based on what we now know the grand jury considered voluntary manslaughter.
The three suspects arrested in connection with Liming's death were first charged with murder, with bonds set at $1 million. But a Summit County grand jury reduced those charges and new bonds were issued.
At this time, I will modify bond in the amount of $25,000, 10%.
Two other suspects involved had their bonds reduced to $5,000. Attorney John Sin previously said his client defended himself during an altercation with Liming and others.
And a fight did ensue where my client is alleged to have defended himself.
An altercation that started after Liming and friends shot a fake gun filled with water pellets towards Stafford and others while playing basketball.
Come on now. Why would you do that? Why? Why? Why would you do that? You're going to hear more information. More information is going to come out that I'm going to show on this live stream.
Liming's father told 3 News in a prior interview he's forever broken.
My son died because of a toy. And for being just goofing around as a teenager.
Akron police said Liming did not deserve to die that night. Meanwhile, attorney John Sin told the community to not rush to judge the 3 individuals involved in...
I don't, it's sad what happened to him, but at the same time, you had no business doing this at 10 o'clock at night. That's what they're not telling you. Lemming did this at 10 o'clock at night. Ethan Lemming did this at 10 o'clock at night. You were driving around at night shooting at people with a pellet gun. People were trying to say, in the comment section, it was ridiculous. People were trying to say, oh, it's just a water gun, man. Come on now. It was not a water gun. It's not that type of water gun. And I'll show you later on in this live stream. But you can't really be mad with the comments what people are making because you see the racism. You see the racism coming. Okay. They acted the same way with Ashley Babbitt when she went to Capitol Hill to destroy property, and a black officer told her to stop because he had to barricade the place because they were just losing their minds. The people on the right coming up there and destroying things, and she wouldn't obey commands, so the officer shot her. And she wasn't alone. She was with a bunch of other rioters. Oh, Ashley Babbitt was murdered. No. I mean, she refused to obey police commands when she was in the act of a crime. You see how the sympathy goes. And the thing that was scary to me and frightening was when a white woman, when I was looking through these Ethan Lemming videos, she said these water guns, these pellet guns, they hurt when they hit impact. And then another person under her comments, a white person said, you're a traitor. And I asked him, why is she a traitor? Because you're going against your own people. I just want to say, anyone could be a racist. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Chinese, anyone could be a racist. Also, you see the racism there. They don't want to admit facts. Same thing with the Ahmaud Arbery case. Okay? There are white people who think Ahmaud Arbery deserved to get shot. There are people thinking that Ahmaud Arbery is a criminal when facts say otherwise. They think Gregory McMichael, okay, and Travis McMichael were doing the right thing, and they were not. As well as Woody, the third accomplice, who recorded everything. And they were laughing about it in their own personal message space until Woody decided to put it out there. And it was months before it actually anybody ever knew about it. And man, if you could see the racism in those comments when the incident was fresh, man, it's crazy. And then when Ahmaud Arbery finally got justice, and when all three of those clowns got sent with life sentences, the racism was real.
Liming's death because they were attacked while shooting hoops at the I Promise school. The reduced charges for the three accused of beating Liming were announced by a grand jury last week. A pretrial date has been set for August 18th. Laura?
Ah, boy. I mean, these people are nuts. They're really trying to make it as if he is a victim. Trying to make it like he's a victim. Ethan was not a victim. All right? He wasn't. Let me show you something about these guns. These water pistols, they like to say what they are. Show you that.
Dangerous. Kids often play around shooting them at each other. But Jim Murray reports a new online challenge has led to an uptick in potentially dangerous attacks.
I get him. I get him. It's a new social media trend. Water pellets being fired during sneak attacks. It's an armed gun war with my daughters. It's supposed to be all in good fun. In most cases, the targets are friends and family members who take it in good stride. But now, the so-called Orbeez challenge is taking a dangerous turn. Orbeez are squishy water beads that, when mixed with water, expand. Kids love to play with them. Now cops say they're being weaponized. Here's a drive-by attack aimed at a mom pushing her baby stroller. Sometimes it can hurt. This woman, struck by the water beads, was left with large welts. And
imagine somebody coming at you with this stuff at 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night. Somebody coming at you with this stuff. And you're not going to feel like you're going to want to attack them. Come on.
this 10-year-old boy was bruised after a random attack.
Some teenagers just went by in a golf cart and started shooting people.
Chad Snowden and his wife Dawn called 911 after their son Emery was fired on while playing in a park in Atlanta.
It's terrifying. I mean, it is. It's terrifying that this is a trend.
This is a splatter gun, which comes with these soft water beads. The idea is to safely take aim at non-human targets, but cops say more and more assailants are now assaulting people. This body cam footage shows a man under arrest after police say he shot at an Amazon driver with Orbeez, hitting his glasses and neck.
There's little green pellets in here.
Police in Volusia County, Florida, say they found water pellets in the suspect's car, and there's the splatter gun.
In the Amazon driver case, I mean, it's only by the grace of God that guy didn't lose his eyesight. This is a deadly prank. It has serious consequences.
The makers of Orbeez tell us they don't manufacture or sell.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Now, let me show you. I mean, they're going to say, show you this one now. Hold on. Everything I'm saying is true. Let's get into it.
Who were involved in Ethan's death to justice. And I will let you know if that question is asked, I will respond in that way. So, what we know, Saturday night at about 10:46 p.m., our dispatch center received a call.
10:46 p.m. Happened at night, man. Ethan decided to go and do this stuff.
Saying there was a fight in the parking lot of 400 West Market, which is a parking lot just east of the basketball court at the I Promise School. The caller also said there was a person that was down. Our officers would dispatch at 10:46, and they arrived within 3 minutes of the call. When the officers got there, they found a male laying on the ground in the parking lot, and he was unresponsive. Akron fire medics arrived on scene almost immediately. They tried to provide aid to who we know now to be 17-year-old Ethan Liming, and unfortunately, their efforts were unsuccessful.
People want to say he's a kid. He's 17. That's a young adult. Okay? 17, out of high school. That's a young adult. So he has a understanding that going around shooting water pellets at people will get you in trouble. Shooting them at complete strangers.
And Ethan was pronounced dead at the scene. APD detectives and crime scene unit technicians arrived on scene, and our investigation began. Since Saturday, our detectives have received a tremendous amount of information from the public that has led to viable leads into the individuals that may have been involved with this, again, as the mayor described it, senseless loss of life in our city. As a result of interviews and other evidence that we have at our disposal, which I'm not going to get into, this is what we believe happened, understanding that what I'm about to say, the narrative may change in the end because we still have people we need to talk to. At about 10:40 p.m. on Saturday night, a group of 4 juveniles arrived in the parking lot of the I Promise School near the basketball courts. Shortly after their arrival, they got out of the vehicle, and at least 2 members of occupants of the vehicle started discharging what we know now to be a splatter ball water bead blaster gel gun. They started discharging it at the direction of 4 individuals who were playing basketball on the...
These cops want to say, oh, a senseless act of violence. So what about the violence committed against these 3 young men minding their business, playing basketball? What about the senseless violence caused against them? You're seeing the racism here.
The basketball court. The 4 individuals on the basketball court started running away, and it appears that 2 of the occupants of the vehicle started running in their direction. Moments later, the 2 occupants of the vehicle are seen trotting back to their vehicle. The 4 people who had been on the basketball court are also seen running in the direction of the vehicle in the parking lot. A confrontation occurs. Ethan Liming is assaulted, and a fight ensues. At the conclusion of it, Ethan Liming is dead. A 911 call was placed at the scene, and like I said, shortly after we received the 911 call, we arrived and nobody was on scene.
Hold on a minute.
We're not going to get into who we believe the suspects.
So this was taken, a month, of what happened. Okay? But the reality is, it's unfortunate what happened to Ethan. But you can't be doing this. You cannot have, one rule, rules for you, but not rules for thee, that You know, there's consequences, heavy consequences for minorities when they commit crimes. But no really heavy consequences when the dominant society commits crimes. That's how it is. That is how it is. And you have to understand, this is self-defense. This was self-defense. The comment section, once again, you could check it out. It was crazy. People were calling these three men animals. But you won't call Ethan and his buddies animals. Okay? Who decided to, at 10 o'clock at night, go and shoot up a basketball court. Thinking it was cool. Everybody was saying, trying to make excuses for Ethan. It's a prank. It's just a prank. 10 o'clock at night. Shooting people with water pellets that are lethal. Thing about these stories, they really show you that racism is still alive and well in America, especially when they try to make one person a victim when that person was the instigator and the aggressor in the situation. That's all I have to say. Feel free to look through the videos. Hope you like the content. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Later.